Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a look for back to school, and this is appropriate for anyone. You can be an early teenager in high school or even somebody in college or even after. It doesn't have to be back to school, but it is appropriate for school, and if you really want to look your best and put together. I also teach you how to do this hairstyle right here, and it's super easy. It uses only products from the drugstore, and I also worked really hard to make a lot of products multi-purpose so that it saves you time. You don't have to reach for a lot of different products and a lot of different tools. So you should be able to really get this done in about 10 minutes at the very most. Also, if you're younger, if you're 14, 15, 16, I teach you ways to make this a little bit more appropriate for you, and if you're older, how to really vamp it up if you really want to. So yeah, let's just get started. You're probably wondering why I look like an alien with these things in. I know, but a great tip if you're like me and you like to wait until the very last minute to get up and go to school, then this is a great way to make sure that you get your hair done but in enough time so that you can still get all the sleep that you want. I just put my hot rollers right next to my sink and plug them in as soon as I wake up and go to the bathroom, wash my face and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And then that way they heat up. After you're done with all that, you just put them in, and if you're going to be doing your makeup, then you just let them sit and set, and then you'll be ready to go, and that way your face isn't the only thing that's done. So I'm going to do that same thing. We're going to get started. I'm going to be using a Real Techniques beauty blender. You can find these at Ulta for like $6.99. They're super cheap and just as good as the regular beauty blender if you ask me. My favorite primer from the drugstore right now is from NYX. It's called the Angel Veil. It's a skin perfecting primer. It's not too drying and it's not too silicone-y, so it's not going to make you really break out. I haven't gotten any breakouts from this, but it's definitely going to smooth out. I really feel like it's a universal primer that everybody can benefit from. It's got a really nice texture, and it's going to help your makeup stay on all day. And you know, when you're going to school and you have an 8-hour day, that's important. For me, when I was in high school, I was driving 45 minutes out of my way, so that was already an hour of makeup wear like gone that nobody even saw my face. So you really want to do all you can to make this worthwhile. You're gonna get up and do it at all. Because if you're like me, I went to an all-girls private Catholic school, and I didn't care, so I didn't wear anything. But in college I did. We're going to be using my favorite foundation from the drugstore. It's also going to last all day. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I have a review on my channel of this already, but if you are really dry, I don't recommend this that much. I would recommend the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. This is a fantastic foundation for dry skin. It really makes you look healthy and glowy, and if you're somewhere in the middle, then I would suggest the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1. It has SPF in it as well, which is really good for you, especially if you want to start young. And it claims to be like a concealer and foundation in one, so I would definitely try this one out if you want to skip a concealer step, because this is really good as well. Excuse my like hideous bottles. Alright, so I'm just going to put a generous amount of this on my hand. A great reason to use a beauty blender is because it's going to shear out the product on your face, so you're not going to look as cake face as you would be maybe with a brush. And also it's more accessible and more affordable. If you're in school, and this again is just my own personal opinion, you want to look like you're focusing more on your studies than on your makeup. And there are a lot of things going on in your life at that time, and you really need to prioritize, in my opinion. And I find that adults and teachers really respect you if you look put together, but not like you're going to a, you know, makeup show, if that makes sense. So finding the right balance is important, and I feel like the beauty blender makes you not look cakey and just makes you look even and flawless and like the way you want to look. Sorry, I'm looking in the viewfinder as like my mirror, so I'm trying to talk to you too. I feel like this is just enough, like just to even out my skin tone, no more, no less. And now I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser and Neutralizer. I love this, and I've been using this for years and years. It's really convenient. You can control the amount of product you put on, and for me and my skin tone, any like additional redness on my face, I can use this to like cover, you know, acne or whatever like that. But if you're darker, then this is even more beneficial because you can use it as a highlight. So I'm putting it in the places that I would normally highlight fairly quickly, but on me you won't really be able to see it that much, but on you it'll look fierce and make a much bigger difference. And it's really good for canceling out that eye redness that makes you look tired, especially on me. My eyelids are really veiny, so they have a lot of pigmentation from the veins, you know. Again, just using that same beauty blender, not having to change your device, so to speak, will make your getting ready time much quicker. Now I'm using the e.l.f. high definition powder. I'm sorry, this is so nasty. I've tried cleaning it so many times and it just does not come off. It comes with a puff, so you're fine to use that if you like. I prefer using just the same beauty blender because it's a little bit wet. It prevents it from getting too cakey, so I'm just gonna set that. If you're young and you're in high school and you're like 13, 14, 15, you can probably skip this step unless you're really oily, and I would just recommend powdering your nose, around your nose, and your chin, and your forehead T-zone area. You don't need to do more than that, but if you're in college, maybe you're starting to see the first signs of under eye crepiness, in which case this really helps, and this is the best setting powder you can find at the drugstore by far. Now we're going to do our brows. I have 2 recommendations for you. If you have a little bit more time, I would really recommend the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. This has a little spoolie on it, and it's really great to do your brows really quickly and really precisely if you like a more defined brow. Or you can use the Brow Fix Brow Kit by Milani. I really like this, and this is my go-to for a while. I'm going to use this only because this is what we're going to be using for shadow today as well, because we're going to do double duty because we don't have time to go back and forth. But it's really up to you. The really cool thing about the Milani kit is that it comes with a mirror inside of it, a little like sponge for your eyeshadow if you want, and tweezers. And it's just like a really great kit, and it's like $6.99 I think. So I'm going to be using a mixture of the light and dark shade. And I really just think brows are something you can do really quickly that make you look really put together. It really just ties together your whole face. I'm going to focus this mostly on the outside because that's where I have the most sparseness. And I'm not really making this too crazy in terms of like taking a long time on your brows, because that could take a lot of time out of your getting ready time, but I do think that they are worth doing. I'm just going to do just enough to make them like appear and not really any more than that. They look like kind of harsh a little bit right now, but it's because we don't have anything else on our face yet. Now that we have our brows done, we're going to do our bronzer and blush to kind of reawaken the face so we don't look like a ghost. So I'm taking my favorite bronzer from the drugstore. This is the Bronze Booster Beauty Balm Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I love this. It has just enough shimmer, but it's mostly matte. So I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. And just pretty much go to town with this, because for me, I'm really white, and this brings life and dimension back to my face. Focusing on the cheeks, sides of the temples, up on the forehead, a little bit on the hairline, but I have a small forehead, so I'm not gonna shorten it anymore. Bring this a little bit down on your chin, define your neck. Don't forget to get back here near your ear. A lot of people stop right here and then there's like this white patch. It's okay, you're young, you can make mistakes, but I'm trying to help you not do that. The great thing about this is it's really buildable, and you don't have to worry about putting too much on, which again I think is something if you're young you should really try to avoid, especially if you're going to school. Now I take a little bit that was left on the brush on the sides of my nose just to slim it out a little bit, nothing crazy. But as you can see, that already made such a huge difference to my face. Perfect. For blush, I'm using everyone's favorite drugstore blush. This is Luminoso by Milani. It's a favorite for a reason. It's stunning. It flatters almost every skin tone. It's a peachy pink, and it's very shimmery, so it's like a built-in highlight. So this is a great choice because then you can skip highlight and save some more time in the morning. Because Lord knows, we have class or a test or a final or something that we're dreading, and you can take your time and put on highlight to avoid it, but you're still gonna have to go. So I'm focusing on this on the apples of the cheeks. It really makes you look more alive. Now you can skip this step, but if you have a big fluffy brush with no product on it, I just like to run this all over those areas and just make sure everything is blended out, because if you're rushing, it could look patchy, but these products really shouldn't look patchy on you, but just make sure. It's a good little step to take. So for the eyes, I'm gonna use that same Milani. I'm gonna take this top shade here, and I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush, and I'm literally gonna put this all over my lid and up to my brow bone. This is gonna be a time saver later when we already have our highlight, like our inner corner highlight, our lightness on our lid, and our brow bone highlight all with one shadow. And then that way when you add the contours for your eyes to make them more awake, you don't have to go back and be more precise with your light color the way you normally would if you were doing like a really more intense look. Now we're going to take that middle shade and take that same brush, and we're going to put that right into our crease just to give it some definition, focusing it mostly on the outside but still bringing it all the way in. And I'm going to take this dark shade on the bottom. We're going to use a smaller brush and tap that into that. You can even use the little brush that comes in this kit if you want. I'm just going to focus this a little bit into the crease and onto the lid. And you can even skip this step if you're running out of time. It's just if you want to look a little bit more glam. And then I'm running that along the outer corner of the lower lash line. And that same brush from before, just make sure everything's blended because you don't want to look cray-cray. And you're done. If you want to skip liner, feel free to skip liner, but if you would like to use it, I'm going to be using the Jane water resistant eyeliner. This is a brown shimmer. This is a really nice brown that's not too dark that I'm going to work into my lash line. I don't like using black for school. I feel like it's too intense. Oh, that's nice. But this is just dark enough that it's going to define your lash line without looking too try-hardy. If you really want to make this more intense, if you have the time, you can smudge this underneath your bottom lash line. Just a little bit on the outer corner, not too much. And I'm just going to run this a little bit on the outer. And then using that same little brush from the Milani eyebrow palette, just smudge that out on the top. You can skip the eyeliner. It's not necessary. This is just so that everybody's pleased and they're like, that's nothing. This is the best, like, don't even talk to me about any other mascara from the drugstore. This is the best Lash Extreme by Jordana. It's just absolutely insane. So I'm gonna put this on and I'm gonna zoom you back out and we're gonna finish up. I really forgot how much I love this mascara. It's so great, and it's like $1.99. It can't be beat. Amazing. You can find it at Walgreens if you can't find Jordana. Okay, so all that leaves is lips, and I'm going to be using the Jordana Easy Liner in Tawny. It works for like almost everyone, and I like it. If you're like 14, 15, 16, I'd probably skip the liner. It's a little bit more of a mature look, but if you're like 17, 18 or in college, then it's just a nice way to outline your lips, especially since we're going to be using a kind of lighter, less intense pigmented gloss. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Meringue. It's one of my favorites. These are just this and Tiramisu, Creme Brulee, Meringue, and Fortune Cookie are like my go-tos, and they're all like sitting in my bags everywhere and I can never find them. But today we're going to be using this one. It's nice and pink and fun and girly. And I just use the doe foot to kind of blend out that liner. So this is one option for a lip. Or if that's too pink for your taste, I also like the Maybelline New York Elixir. This is in the shade Nude Illusion. This is also really nice. This is more of a peach nude, and it's very moisturizing and has a really nice doe foot. And that's it. So now I've taken out my hair and it looks like this straight out of the rollers, and then you can just use your fingers to brush it out and you look, you know, put together and like not too crazy, and you're ready to go, right? So it's super easy, and again, there are so many modifications that you can take to make this look appropriate for you. But if you're starting school, I hope you have an amazing school year, and thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Have fun at school. I don't miss it. I'm just kidding. Enjoy school. It's one of the best times of your life where you don't have to worry about the real world, and all you have to worry about is this one thing, just school and doing well, and enjoy it. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.